Howdy, and welcome to Big World Little Lens. In this video I just want to talk real quickly about an image histogram. Maybe if you're new to photography or the mobile community, you don't know what a histogram is, or what does it have to do with my photography. So I just want to do a quick lesson of really just briefly about what it is, and then in future lessons we kind of can explore what that means to us as photographers, as well as kind of some creative uses or impacts post-processing has on the histogram, and also to help with our exposure in general. So a histogram, as you can see here, I'm working in iPhoto. I think that's a pretty common tool for viewing a histogram if you've imported your photos. Some of the apps out there like Photo Forge and things like that actually have histogram viewers within the app itself, but just because of real estate it might make a little more sense to use iPhoto. So what it is here is you can kind of see a representation of the histogram, and histograms, are all over the place. They're basically a graphical representation of the distribution of data. Yay, exciting, great for statisticians and actuaries for insurance companies and people that work at Sports Center for sports stats. But for us, it is a distribution of tonal values. So along this bottom axis is the tonal value, and the vertical axis here is the number of pixels in there. So it's basically showing you where your light or where the pixels are concentrated in your image. So again, the tonal value and the distribution of them, or how many there are in that tonal range. So what's interesting though is on histogram, the dark area of image is represented here on the left, the light area of the image is represented on the right. So this is the photo that I shot out of my iPhone in where were we at here? La Jolla. And this is what the histogram looks like, and this is what the iPhone basically exposed for and determined was the appropriate exposure. As we work through the three images here, so we're going to go to the brighter one, you can see a lot of that information moved over to the right. So we have more information or more pixels in the lighter area of our image. And then if we move to a darker image, we have more information or more pixel concentration in the darker area of the image here. So what does that necessarily mean? Well, we'll get into that here in later episodes. I just want to talk about what the histogram is and what it means. But if you look at this properly exposed image or balanced exposure, we kind of have a pretty good distribution of data. It might be a little bit dark, but that just could be the nature of the photograph. You see there's a lot of shadow areas under here, so that's going to be represented by these pixel densities or distribution in the darker areas of the histogram. But what you want to look out for is if you see a bunching of pixels to the left or a bunching of pixels to the right. See these ones you can barely see? That's what we call clipping, meaning that we've lost any detail in those regions. So if you see something way to the right and you're losing information there, probably this area right here, that means it's off the histogram and there's no detail there. It's pure white. And if you see something down here that's way to the right, maybe some of these elements right here, that means it's off the histogram and it's pure black. So in those areas, you've lost all detail. You've either got pure white or pure black. There's no kind of midtones to show any contrast or detail. They're just gone. So I'm not saying it's a good or a bad thing. Those are all creative decisions we make as photographers. But just so you know, if you see something going off to the left, it's clipping in the shadows, we call it. And if it's going off to the right, that's clipping in the highlights, meaning that some part of the image has gone to pure white, or if it's over here, some part of the image has gone to pure black. So that's really what a histogram is in under a minute. Hopefully it was under a minute. And we'll kind of continue this discussion and these lessons later as we look at other post-processing techniques and actually exposure techniques that are going to improve our images and get the most out of our images by capturing the appropriate or the right amount of data. So hopefully that helps, and we'll see you back here at Big World Little Lens.